Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is finally here. I watched it last night and this is my movie review. Was this film everything that I was hoping for, or was I left wanting a little bit more? Hey guys, welcome to Marcus Loves Movies. We are talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I've been really excited about this one, excited because it's directed by Sam Raimi and the trailer promised us something that looks very different to all of the other MCU movies. So, did it deliver on its promise? Well, we're going to talk about it today. First, I'll give you a quick plot outline, then I'll share my thoughts and feelings about the movie. Dr. Stephen Strange casts a forbidden spell that opens the doorway to the multiverse, including alternate versions of himself, whose threat to humanity is too great for the combined forces of Strange, Wong, and Wanda Maximoff. So let's start off by talking about all the great and wonderful things about this film. I thought the first Doctor Strange was one of the best entries in the MCU universe. I thought it was a great introduction to that character, and I thought the visuals, the effects were absolutely outstanding. And you wonder, how are they going to top it? Because they set a really high bar in that first film. The good news is they absolutely do. The visuals, the effects are mind-blowing. It's absolutely fantastic. Early on in the film, there's a sequence where Doctor Strange and another character travel through several multiverses, and the visuals, the effects are unbelievable. They are mind-blowing. I think it's worth the price of the ticket alone. Looks absolutely wonderful. Early on in the film, I felt like every 5 minutes something amazing was happening, whether it was an action sequence, whether it was the introduction of a character, whether it was a piece of drama, something was always there to grab my attention. I thought it was really impressive. I really liked the infusion of horror. This is the Sam Raimi influence, and this is the scariest MCU film we've had to date. Wanda is genuinely a scary character, not just because she's the Scarlet Witch and she can shoot lightning bolts out of her hand and her eyes light up red. She's genuinely frightening. There's the classic thing of chasing people through corridors. It almost feels like an old school horror film. It's amazing how this character reminds you of something out of Carrie or The Exorcist. She's genuinely that scary. We also get jump scares in the film, so we get those moments where things are all quiet and you're waiting for something to jump out and frighten you. It's got those classic horror feels to it, and I really liked it. I thought that was different to what we normally get out of these MCU movies. This was a genuinely fun popcorn cinema experience. The appearance of characters old and new on screen actually got people clapping and cheering in the cinema. I'm actually a bit of a reserved individual, so when I watch films, I like to just take it in and just, process it and think about it. But yeah, people were genuinely cheering and going for it in the cinema. The film's actually quite funny as well. It's got some really good humor, so it's definitely a lot of fun. Sam Raimi is clearly a filmmaker who cares about the work he produces. He's not a gun-for-hire director who'll just turn up and direct whatever the studio asks him to direct, and he'll churn it out and it'll look like everything else that has gone before it. No, he had a clear vision for it. It's clear that his fingerprints are all over this, and it stands out. It is a standout movie, much in the same way that Waititi made Ragnarok stand out, much in the way that Shang-Chi is a standout movie as well. And you compare those to something like Black Widow, which feels very much a by-the-numbers movie. I love how this felt completely different to all of the other MCU movies that had gone before it. It doesn't feel formulaic at all. However, towards the back end of the film, I thought we'd gone a little bit over the top with the horror vibes. It was good at the start and the middle of the film. There was a good level of horror, but by the end of it, I thought, yeah, we've gone too far the other direction. We've moved away from a superhero movie, and it feels very much like it's all about the horror right now. In the trailer, you see a version of Doctor Strange with lots of arms, and we get that. So by that stage in the film, I was like, yeah, we've crossed the line here. We don't want to be formulaic, but we've gone too far away from the formula now. Instead of being a superhero film, I feel like we've got a really intense horror movie, and yeah, I think we've lost something there. There was a musical fight sequence in the film that I couldn't decide if it was brilliant, because visually it is brilliant, or if it was a bit silly and it was an idea that maybe they could have replaced with something else. I'm also starting to wonder if I'm getting a little bit tired with this multiverse idea. Yes, it's a cool idea. Yes, there's lots of madness going on in these multiverses, but I think this multiverse takes away a sense of peril, that sense of danger, that sense that a character's life could be at risk or they could actually die and it'd be sad and tragic. Because if that happens here in this universe, well, that doesn't end the story there. We could just go across to this other multiverse and watch the story happen there. So the idea that a character could die and it's the end of the line and what do we do next? Well, let's just continue the story by going over here and following that character's life in this universe. It'll be absolutely fine. Where's the sense of peril? Lots of characters were on screen. Like I said at the start, people were cheering and clapping. Lots of exciting characters come in, but then they only seem to come in for a short while, don't do a lot, don't have a massive effect on the story, and they disappeared, and that was a little bit disappointing for me. We get to meet America Chavez, who looks like she's going to be a really interesting character going forward in the MCU. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a lot to do here until the final third, but she's definitely going to be one to watch going forward in the future. The film never dragged, it constantly had my attention, and it was over before I knew it, so it was really fast paced. And I thought the last scene in the film, which I'll say nothing about because this is a spoiler-free review, I thought was absolutely great. It's unlike anything I've seen in the MCU for a long time. I would say this is a 12A, I believe, in the UK, which means, you know, parents, bring your kids if you want, but don't bring your kids. This is not a child-friendly film. It is very scary. I've got nephews and nieces, and I wouldn't bring them along with me to see this film. It is not Ant-Man, it is not Spider-Man, so keep your kids at home. We also get some post-credit sequences. We get 2 of them, and I won't say anything about them, but I wasn't overly enamored with them. I'm starting to get a little bit bored of them. I think after the release of Eternals, where we got a couple of post-credit sequences there, yeah, I'm just getting a bit bored of them now. I think, you know, the excitement that we got at the end of the first Iron Man film, where you got that post-credit sequence and it felt amazing. I don't know, some of the joy of them has gone. But hey, Doctor Strange is coming back. We know that Doctor Strange will return, and the film was good enough that when he returns, so will I. I'll be back in the cinema to watch and see what happens as well. So my official Marcus Loves Movies rating for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is, mini drum roll, 4 stars. So guys, thank you for watching my review. I really appreciate it. Would love to know what you think. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Whilst you're here, please do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Help me with the algorithm. And better still, if you like movie reviews like this one, can I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel? Do that by hitting the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I release a brand new video. Thank you for watching my review of Multiverse of Madness. Please stay tuned for the next one, and I'll catch you again soon. So until then, take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.